Hey everybody, it's a UTEP Volleyball Tuesday as we get the show going today. Along with Adrian Broadus, I'm Steve Kaplowitz, back with you, 600 ESPN El Paso. Adrian, do you know what this week is?
I do know what this week is, Steve.
Oh, this is championship week, baby. This is something that we've dreamed of, an opportunity for UTEP Volleyball to host the conference championships.
Feels historic.
This is historic. I feel like that's exactly a great way to describe it because we have UTEP volleyball head coach Ben Wallace back with us. We have a pair of members of the volleyball team, including one who's making her first appearance. I understand she's actually turned us down in the past.
No, she has.
Do you realize what that sounds like, Coach,
Yeah.
hearing that we have someone here today who has said no to this show and no to Sports Talk?
Yeah,
how is that even possible?
It's possible because she's just intimidated by your greatness. You know what I mean? She's worried about letting down the great Steve Kaplowitz, who's now what are you, a hometown hero now? That's what you are?
They announced that last
they announced
Tuesday.
that?
Yes, they announced. I still find that whole thing hard
Hometown
to
hero,
believe, but that's what they say. It was very nice, and I appreciate the Oscar Ariete agency for that. You were there for that as well.
That's correct.
This is a big deal because, yes, we have members of the team. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you introduce them. One, I feel like Kaya's been here before, hasn't she?
Kaya has been here before.
How many times? Once or twice? How many times have you been here before?
I was here once, but I did it at the Union.
Oh, you were at Union Draft House.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that. That was when you had your big viewing party, and we had you on the show for that.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Why don't you introduce your teammate for me so we can give her the full proper introduction.
Bring some thunder for her. Yeah.
Yes.
With us we have Kalia Kohler. She's a sophomore setter. She's from Alpine, Utah, and yeah,
She's a dog.
yeah.
So Kalia, first off, this is the most laid back, loose type of show, and you're ever going to be a part of. How would you not want to jump in on the fun with all of your teammates and be part of this?
I don't know. These things make me nervous. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Do you see any TV cameras around?
I guess not.
No. All you have is that microphone in front of your face, right?
Yep.
It's a piece of cake.
Just get
Piece
that
of
fun.
cake.
Just get that fun. Can't cuss. Just don't cuss.
Plus, don't you want to have an opportunity to, have a little fun with your head coach and do something on local radio? Isn't that kind of a cool thing, Kalia?
Yeah, I love hanging out with Ben Wallace.
She likes to make fun of Ben Wallace. She likes to give me a lot of crap. So
I do.
on the daily.
Ah,
She keeps me on my toes, Steve.
I understand. I get you. Well, first off, Coach, we saw each other away from this. We were out and about, and we just happened to run into each other a couple of Saturday nights ago. You had a rare date night with the wife, which was great. I'm excited for that. Good for you. Apparently, I said something the team wasn't even aware of because their jaws dropped.
They forget that I'm also a human being at times. Yep, had to take the lady out. It was fun. We had a good chance to get away and have some good food and have some drinks, and got to see you and your fam out, man. It was good.
It was nice. I agree with you. It was a lot of fun, and now it's all business. All business this week because this is what we've been talking about for months upon months before the season even started. The opportunity to host the conference championships Friday, Saturday, Sunday out at Club Memorial, which is going to be great for all the people coming into town from around Conference USA, and more than anything, a chance to give this group of young ladies an opportunity to do something they've never done before, which is win the conference championship, punch their ticket into the NCAA tournament, and for you, it's almost like you're completing the puzzle, so to speak, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we set some big-time lofty goals when we took this program over in 2019, and really the only one that we have not been able to scratch off the list is the culmination of all of those, which is the championship. And so, we were really close to being an at-large NCAA tournament team a couple years ago in 2021, but we just didn't get that nod. And this year we have just decided from the get-go that we're not going to wait around and wait for a selection committee to try to give us an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. We're just going to go out there and get it on our own.
I like that. Kaya, Kalia, do either of you watch professional wrestling?
I can't say I can.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in the world of professional wrestling, there is a wrestler. His name is Cody Rhodes, okay? He is currently the WWE Universal Champion.
Daniel Fu would know who that is. Daniel Fu is like a hardcore wrestling guy.
I believe it. Mm-hmm. For the last 2 years, his whole theme was finish the story. because to him, the story ended with him winning the championship belt. So I see that same parallel with you because you have an opportunity to finish the story this weekend and win it all and go to the NCAA tournament. And I know, Kalia, this is your sophomore year, so you had a chance to experience all the fun last year, right, with the run into the NIVC. Kaya, this is really like the last piece missing from your legacy with all the vets on this team. So now you have a chance to do something pretty special here this weekend.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think like a lot of us feel nervous and anxious, but I feel like that's because we know like we can make history. But we're obviously going to have a lot of pressure like from El Paso and the city because we know the city has our back regardless. But
yeah, but I don't feel like there's pressure because when I watch your team at Memorial, I don't feel like – I feel like you block all that stuff out. Like I never really feel like the pressure gets to you. It seems like you feed off the fans, you feed off the energy, and there really isn't anything. Plus, you're a veteran team. So the word pressure doesn't really come into play anymore because you've been there, you've done that, you've seen all the highs of this team the last couple of years, and this is all that's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a lot. We built a lot of stressful moments into our not only our 2024 season, but also the NIVC run was a lot of stress.
Yeah.
It was a lot of big moments to play in a championship game in 2023. Actually before we had a chance to put this team together, it was a great experience for us. And Kalia got a ton of extra matches in as a freshman that she rolled right into the 2025 season and came out like a salty vet, knowing exactly what she wanted. And things felt a lot slower for her this year. And, I've asked her a couple of times throughout the season, like, why are you, operating better under these circumstances in these situations? And she just said, look, I just feel like I know what I'm doing a lot more this year. I feel more comfortable in my own shoes. Last year as a freshman, I was just trying to kind of, keep my head above water, but I feel comfortable talking to my team and my players, my attackers, and I just know I just am in so much more in control of what I'm doing.
Coach, I feel like sound like a broken record whenever I ask you, is this the biggest game in volleyball history, biggest series in volleyball history? But just to continue to cross other milestones off your list or cross other goals and accomplishments off your list, do you kind of feel like this weekend is the biggest that this program has ever seen or biggest weekend ahead?
I really don't. I don't feel that. I don't know if our players feel that. I laid in bed on Sunday. I was telling the team this morning when we finished up practice, I laid in bed Sunday morning, Sunday night when I was preparing for the week in my head. Like, I just want the week to be here.
Yeah.
We're ready to play. We're excited. Everybody keeps asking me, how's the team doing? Like, are they ready? Well, we won't really know that we're ready until we get out there and the first volleyball gets served. But looking at each other in practice and feeling the way that the gym feels, we are ready. We've been ready for a while. We were just ready to get the regular season wrapped up so that we could match up with who we got to match up. And now it's just a one-game playoff every single day. And who cares what the score is? Who cares who the best player is? Let's just get through it and grind it out, and let's get on to the next and win the single-game tournament and get a chance to play tomorrow.
Kalia, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, we've never experienced something like this in our gym yet. And playing in the NIVC last year, like the crowd and the feeling of it was something like surreal, and I've never played in that environment. And so I'm hoping to bring it back into our game this weekend against Liberty, and I'm hoping it rolls over into Saturday and Sunday.
There you go. Well, the good news is you're the 2 seed right behind Western Kentucky. So the only way you face Western Kentucky would be on Sunday in the championships. Until then, it's the road on. And how fitting that the road would have to go through New Mexico State potentially, and your former mentor, Mike Jordan, with his club that's a 3 seed right now.
Yeah. And Kaya's got some good friends on that team, and I don't know how many people Kalia knows on that team, but we've got players in New Mexico State that frequently will text Kaya and just kind of they've got a good little friendship and camaraderie there. We pull for them when they're not playing us, obviously, and I think the world of Mike, and we talk every week and sometimes 2-3 times a week. But I know that they're going to be prepared to play. They got a tough Sam Houston team in front of them on Friday, and they get to watch us play before they play, and so we'll know a little bit more about what we're looking at in terms of semifinals. But at the end of the day, all we really care about is beating Liberty by 2 points on Friday and then giving our chance to play on Saturday and move on in this tournament.
How about the fact that for you, back to back to back. Whoever wins this thing is going to have to play and win 3 matches in 3 days. So, normally you get 2 matches in 2 days. Now this is a little different, but in the preseason, didn't you have a weekend tournament where you actually played 3 and 3?
Yeah, I'll let Kaya handle this one because we built our whole schedule around this, and we've been talking about this for a couple years now about winning 3 in a row on purpose. So we knew we were hosting these bad boys, so I'll let Kaya tackle this one.
All right, Kaya.
Yeah, I feel like we've mentally prepared ourselves for this because I remember the Borderland Invitational, like when we played Air Force, I believe, and then Corpus Christi, and then Texas State. Texas State was doing really good. They were 2-0. We were 2-0. So we literally just treated it like it was a championship run because we played them on a Sunday. It felt the same because they were really good. They had beaten everyone else in the tournament. So we've had a lot of opportunities like that to do that. Like, again, in South Dakota, it wasn't the result that we wanted, but still, like, it still had the same feel. So I feel like we're more prepared for that type of intensity, and especially, like, with the crowd, I feel like we're even more aware.
Where do you feel this team is now compared to where you were, let's say, in September? So take me back to the start of this season, before we really got going, to right to this point. Are you where you want to be as far as you, your teammates, and really where you feel you should be right now?
Yeah, I feel like we've grown a lot. I think, like, mentally and emotionally we've grown a lot. I feel like we've had a lot of emotionally tested games. Like, we started off the year against Utah and we lost in 3, and we, like, all said that it was more of, like, an emotionally, like, challenged thing. I feel like we took ourselves out, but we've built so much, like, preparation on that. We've had weekly meetings every other week, just working on our confidence and, like, what's the word to say? Like, very constant, like, mindset of how we want to approach things. And, like, we have a great guy with us. He's Trey Exley, and he helps us with, like, building the championship mindset and how we built a pyramid. Like, we've put so much work into, like, this weekend. So I feel like since September to now, we are definitely a different team on and off the court.
And I guess probably what you're thinking of is also mental approach, because the physical approach is one thing, but the mental game is completely different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the biggest component that we've worked at, not only just in the fall. I mean, it's hard to work at it in the fall because the sport of volleyball, like every Division I athletic sport, in the middle of your season is such a grind. And there's so many demands. But we take time away from our families, our studies, our personal lives, our sleep patterns to sit in a room with Trey, our sports psychologist, our coaching staff, and each other as a team. And we really spend time on it because that's going to be the tipping point at the end of this. If we give ourselves a chance to play for a championship, it's going to come down to the mentality of who the champion is.
We'll come back more with Coach, more with Kaya, more with Kalia as we continue here on Sports Talk. But first, let's go to Charlie 1. He's standing by with our first traffic update of the afternoon.
Shipping up Paso Metroplex, quite a few rough spots I want to go over. First of all, we have a crash. Let's go to Northeast first. US 54 South and State Line, we have a crash. It's blocking the left lane here. They're slow up here. US 54 South at State Line. Also in Northeast, Marcus Uribe and Martin Luther King Jr., we have a crash. That one just happened. PD going. They're not there yet. Marcus Uribe and Martin Luther King. Then, let's go to the west side. Upper Valley and Artcraft, we have a crash. PD going to that one. East side, we have PD at the scene already. Vista del Sol and Burt Green on a crash. Where are we having the brakes? Especially right now, I-10 East through that Spaghetti Bowl area. Kind of a rough drive right there. Zio's Restaurant, 7520 Remcon. 78 years in business. Thank you. Original family since 1946. Famous tortilla soup. Party trays, popular Mr. T specials, and Go Miners from Zio's Restaurant, 7520 Remcon. Charlie 1600 ESPN El Paso.
Back here on Sports Talk, Kaya Weaver is with us. She's a junior UTEP volleyball player. Plus, Kalia Kohler is also here for the first time. She is a sophomore. Head coach Ben Wallace and his crew getting ready for the CUSA Championships. It starts Friday. $50 gets you into all 7 matches. So that is the all-access ticket. It is a great value. They do have individual match tickets, but I recommend the all-access pass because that way you don't have to worry. You can spend your weekend out at Memorial Gym and just get all the volleyball you can consume. Right, Coach?
Absolutely. I think we sat down with Conference USA earlier in the year. Kelly Gatwood, our commissioner, came out, and we sat down and talked, and she asked what kind of experience that we could provide for Conference USA. So we actually have Jason Craig going to DJ every single game.
Good.
So Club Memorial is going to be Club Memorial for every game. And We got a brand new surprise for all of our listeners and all of our fans when they come to Memorial Gym on Friday. They're going to see a brand new memorial. I mean, everything's going to look different, be different. It's going to feel different. But the great part about that is the quality of volleyball is going to be the same. And it's exceptional, top level, top shelf volleyball in Conference USA, and starting with our UTEP Miners that are going to be playing on Friday at 5 p.m.
I love it. And by the way, I mean, this is also something to note that if this is a huge hit, and let's just say big-time success, fans pack it for all weekend, and you have great crowds, it's also possible that the league would want to keep it here in El Paso. Let's mention that, too, because even though next year is your final year in CUSA, if they see a great, just a great turnout, they might decide, you know what, next year, let's put it back in El Paso. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. We, as coaching staff, not as coaching staff, but as a coaching unit, all of our head coaches got together with Conference USA this past summer and actually proposed that the champion host the next year.
Ooh.
So that wasn't accepted when we proposed it, but it is still in discussion. So I was the one who said, hey, look, if you're good enough to win the championship, you should be hosting that thing the next year. So It's proposed. We'll see what happens, but we got a little bit more discussion to go. But I do think they have chosen where the championships will be next year. I'm not really at liberty to say where it is, but it is not going to be in El Paso next year.
Okay. Well, it's too bad because the old way back in the day when we were growing up was if you won the WAC, you were hosting the following year.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's just another incentive for your team to go grind out a victory because then you know you get to host it in your gym the next year. And yes, it is an advantage. I mean, to sleep in your own bed and to have your own normal routine, it's an advantage. I mean, make no mistake. What puts a little bit more pressure on our team is the fact that it is in our gym and it is in front of our crowd and it is in front of our city. But at the end of the day, we love playing here in front of our home crowd. And the past 2 years, I think our record at home is something ridiculous, like 29-3 over the last 2 seasons. So, I mean, we really love to win here and we love to play at home.
Kaya, a couple of weeks ago, I was at Memorial for the big one against Western Kentucky. If there was one bad taste in your mouth heading into this conference tournament where you really want another shot at a particular team, is this the team we're talking about?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I feel like we've talked about this so much since the games have happened, but we know we're good enough to beat them, and we feel like the loss was, like, directly on us. Like, Western Kentucky played a great game, but I feel like a lot of our talent wasn't fully there. Yeah. So I feel like that's definitely the game that I want back.
At the same time, at times it looked like forget the fact that like you were right there with them. It looked like you were better than them. I saw opportunities where you looked like the more dominant team. And then on the flip side, there were times when they came in and it was almost like they could withstand and take the punch or two, and then they were able to deliver. So it really was like a back and forth style, almost like a great heavyweight boxing match, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we were up 8 out of the 9 sets that we played with them. So it definitely says a lot. Like, we can compete. Like, we want to make it a rivalry. Like, we talked about it. Like, a rivalry isn't a rivalry until you exchange wins and losses. So I feel like that's the next big goal for us.
Coach, what about you? What do you take away from that weekend here at Club Memorial when you had the opportunity to go up against Western?
I mean, the good news is that anytime you have a chance to go toe-to-toe with a champion like them, what makes them great is that when it gets close, when it gets tight, they have a culture and they have an attitude of winning, and it doesn't bother them that it gets close. And that's what we've really established here at UTEP over the last several years. And so when it gets down to it, when you play really close sports, no matter if it's basketball, football, volleyball, soccer, when it comes down to the end and it's tight and it's pressure-packed, you have to rely on your toughest, most elite players to go make special plays. And in that match, back-to-back nights, we had a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes that we had in our hands that we didn't execute, and they did. And so it was a great time in our season to look at ourselves. We really kind of stepped back as a staff and also as a team. We evaluated our personnel. We evaluated our lineups and had a chance to really kind of dive into that film and make sure we know that if we get that opportunity again, if we earn it and play them in a final, then we're going to be ready to go toe-to-toe with them, and it's going to be an opportunity in our home gym to wrap up the year on a win.
I know nobody wants to lose on their home gym to anybody, let alone a rival like that because of the season they've had. But at times, I almost feel like going into a championship tournament like this, maybe it's good. that it's happened. So now your team already knows, okay, we've already gotten that out of the way. It's not like you went through the whole regular season undefeated at home, because if that was the case, there'd be even more pressure on you coming up for this weekend.
Yeah, and I'll let Kalia kind of take this one too. I think she's got a little bit of a dog in her when it comes to the winning stuff. I mean, she's won several state championships, and the grind of the long season is important to winners because you just learn a lot of lessons. And I told my team that when we came up short on a couple of those occasions, that it's good that we learn that stuff about ourselves now instead of licking our wounds at home in a tough loss on a championship setting where we just had some things exposed. So I'll let Kalia take that one.
All right, go ahead, Kalia.
I mean, as Kai said, like, a lot of the battle was us fighting ourselves, and we did a lot of uncharacteristic things in that game. But one good thing, knowing that we did that, is we can fix ourselves and we can become better for the next opportunities that we have when we play. And so I think it wasn't a game of them controlling us. It was just us not handling it well as one unit. And I think a big thing for this tournament is going in as a team and finding that ability to play as one and compete to our best ability.
I'm with you. By the way, as far as you're concerned, is the toughest thing as a coach to deal with your club that's played such flawless volleyball all season long, sometimes the unforced errors, are those the things that just can completely eat at you as a head coach?
Yeah, I think what's hard for, I think, even our minor fans and some of the people that really follow our team is they see us being consistent from the service line and also as an attacking team. And what's the best thing about our team is that we've had this analogy here before, a baseball analogy. Like, we throw fastballs, and we do have a slider, we do have a curveball, we got a changeup, and sometimes you walk people. And so when we're at our best, we strike people out a lot. We're number 2 in the country right now in aces and aces per set. We're top 5 in the country in blocking. The reason why we win is because of our aggression. We are a nasty, come-at-you type of team. That's going to lend itself sometimes to a setting error from Kalia where she just sets it too tight because she's trying to fire the volleyball to one of our best efficient players in the conference and also in the country in Kaya. But that's what makes us us. We play a style and a brand of volleyball that is hyper-aggressive. That's what's going to lead us to a championship. But at the end of the day, if we can clean that up and make sure that we keep those unforced errors down, if we have 10 aces but also 10 errors, we're going to give ourselves a chance to win any match that we play in because of that style.
Yeah.
Coach, you guys talked about the fans, and you also talked about embracing the identity. But I've also seen you guys really go on the media tour this entire week. You were on FitFam earlier this week. We see the promotions all over the CUSA championships. I mean, how special would it be just to see the city of El Paso turn out not just Friday, but the entire weekend to root on the Miners?
Well, even just this year, we broke a regular season record for attendance at Memorial at 2,500 when New Mexico State came out to play. So people are going to come watch, and I think this is the time of the year, too, where high school volleyball is wrapping up, high school football is starting to wrap up. It's just before Thanksgiving, and the city generally comes out to watch winners when there's an event like this. So we really are just trying to make sure everybody knows that we're prepared to put on a great event for them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be loud. It's going to be Club Memorial. We're going to have the DJ out there. We've got people are going to be shocked when they walk into Memorial on Friday to see what we've done to that place. In 1 week, this gym has been transformed. The outside, the inside, everything is going to be exciting. Mandy Polito has been busting her butt to put on a great event for us with our staff. Danny Garcia, Jim, Heather Wilson. I mean, everybody's been really put all hands on deck to make this event great. So the city's going to come out, and they always have a cool event when they come to Club Memorial, but now it's going to be like Club Memorial on crack.
I like that. That is actually, you know what?
Put it on a billboard somewhere.
Now
just
put
say
it on
it,
a
yeah.
T-shirt.
There you go. Put it on a T-shirt.
I want the T-shirts to say on the front, the CUSA Volleyball Championships, on the back, Club Memorial on crack.
There you go.
I think that is a win if I've ever heard it before. I love that.
Tell them that Kalia quoted it and that she said it on 600 ESPN. Yep.
Kalia, would you like to take credit for that? I would. If I were you, I would
what?
just take
Yes.
credits.
I will.
That's good, Kalia. Yeah, you do that. That's a smart call. All right, we'll wrap things up with UTEP Volleyball right after SportsCenter. It's next as we continue. Show, talk to Ben Wallace, Kaya Weaver, Kalia Kohler. You got the opportunity to do so right now.
I'd love for somebody to call in and talk to Kalia Kohler. Like that would make my whole day.
It would make my day, too. And there's so many things you can ask her.
That's right.
She's got a lot of, I could tell.
She's got a lot of knowledge.
We could spend a whole show on Kalia.
That's right, we could. Yeah.
I believe
By the
it.
way, Coach, we've taken some good calls on volleyball all season long. That's a credit to you all.
Hey, man, they're earning that. They deserve it, and we get what we deserve. So
You know what? They call on Minor Talk and talk volleyball.
Heck
How about
yeah.
that?
That's right.
It's a big deal.
After football and basketball games, and they're talking volleyball, you got to love that.
You know, historically, this has been a basketball city because of everything that the championship 66 team did, and also the history of Don Haskins here.
Yep.
It's also a football city, but it's now a volleyball city too, man.
It is, in a big, big way.
Yes, sir.
I love that. 505-6009, our telephone number, 505-6009. Kalia, I'm curious, when you first arrived last year as a freshman, who kind of took you under their wing and helped you out as you kind of learned the ropes here with UTEP volleyball?
Our Serbians really helped me a lot. That's Sarah Pusiha and Emma Uskokovic. Unfortunately, they both got injured last season, so I didn't get the chance to play with them as much as I wanted to. But I have them both back now in my offense, and I think they helped me function super well under pressure. And being that newbie last year, they helped me learn from their mistakes their freshman year.
I like that. And now that you're into your sophomore year, and again, you're going to be back with 2 to go next season, do you almost start to see yourself as wanting to have that leadership role for the next group of youngsters as they come in here and kind of help them out the way the Serbs did for you?
Yeah, I love to help the freshmen that we have now, just because, as Ben said, my freshman year, a lot of it, I felt like I was just trying to survive. And this year it's been easier, and I'm a pretty observant person, so I notice things, but I think I bit my tongue a lot my freshman year, and now just sharing my knowledge at the right time is huge.
How does Alpine, Utah compare with El Paso, Texas?
It's definitely different, especially weather. We get a lot of snow back home, and I live up in the mountains, so it's a lot of skiing, snowboarding, and then you come here where it's pretty sunny most of the time, and if it does get cold, it's really windy.
It can be, listen, we had wind just a couple of days ago here. That Sunday, that rainy, windy, kind of wintry day. It was weird. A little different than California, isn't it, Kaya?
Galt!
Yeah.
Galt shout out.
Yeah, what is it? Where is Galt, California?
Galt, California is like 40 minutes south of Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm in the middle. I'm 2 hours from the beach, 2 hours from the snow, so...
If you had to prefer one, would you prefer the beach or the snow if you could pick one?
I don't like water, so I like looking at the beach, but I like going up into the mountains, but I'm also scared of heights. So
Well, no wonder you're in El Paso. If you don't
Kaya's
like
afraid of everything.
I was going to say, if you don't like water, El Paso is the perfect place for you.
Yeah.
Because
so
you have nothing to worry about here.
Nothing at all. No. Keisha was worried about Kaya being in El Paso, but now Keisha loves that Kaya's in El Paso.
Yeah, true.
I think that's terrific. Now, as we get ready for this weekend, ladies, what are you most excited about when you get the opportunity on Friday to get back to Club Memorial against Liberty? Your packed house, the championship starts then, and what are you looking forward to the most? Kaya, I'll start with you.
I think setting the tone for the weekend. We're going to play Liberty. Liberty's really good, and we just left Liberty with 2 really good wins. It was hard, so it's going to be hard playing them on Friday. It's not easy to beat a team 3 times in a row, but I think setting the tone for the weekend and just having everyone in El Paso there, hopefully everyone in El Paso there, it's going to set the tone for us and for them.
All right. Kalia, your turn.
Yeah, I'm excited to see us perform. I think we're a really great team, and I'm excited to see what we're about to bring against Liberty and the excitement and energy, something I love and helps fuel me for the next game. So I'm excited to see us go out there and compete.
Ben, I'm excited the most that a lot of teams are going to be looking at you as the team that they're really getting up for the most. I mean, that's just the truth. When you think about it, you're the host school, you're the 2 seed. So I think that your opponents, starting with Liberty, are going to be more hyped to play you than probably anybody else out there.
Yeah, I tossed that out of practice a couple weeks ago. I mean, I lit them up in practice one day, and I just said, look, you guys, if you guys think things are going to be easy when everybody in the country comes to our gym, they're going to give us everything they got, and we're going to be a target. So I think that they really listened and understood that. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they've responded really well in practice since then, but everybody's going to give us their best shot because at the end of the day, no matter what we've done, from here backwards. Like, we're 16-2 in conference. No one cares. We're 26-4 overall. No one cares. Because at 5 p.m. on Friday, Liberty's 0-0, and so are we. They have 6 seniors that start in their lineup that are all just trying to salvage their season that's been a little bit of a disappointment so far. And we're just trying to roll our season forward, And so I'm looking forward to seeing these ladies go out there and play spectacular volleyball. We've been searching for that all year. At times, we have shown ourselves to be one of the best teams in the country. Our RPI right now is 36 in the country, which tells you a lot about this group. And they've set records so far, and we're ready to keep that rolling and just keep setting more records. But I'm just ready to sit back and be a fan, honestly. Like, I'll coach them through it, but at this point in the year, I'm ready to be a fan and watch them just go out there and fly.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm ready for. I'm ready for a phone call. Eddie wants to talk
I can't wait.
To the ladies. Eddie, welcome to the show. You're on with Kai and Kalia. How are you?
I'm doing A-okay. Shout out to those minor girls, Kai and Kalia. I have a question for them.
Go right ahead. They're listening.
What's the one moment from this season that brought the team closer together?
It's a good one.
It's a great question.
Shout out to the mayor. What up, mayor?
Hey, what's up, Coach Wallace? Adrian Broadus was like, "You want to talk to Coach Wallace?" I was like, "I need to talk to the studs."
Talk to the girls, man. Talk to the important players.
There we go. Shout out, Coach Wallace.
All right, good question. Now, the ladies are kind of talking this question over with each other. Now, do you each have the same answer, or Kalia, Kai, do you want to go with different answers? What do you think?
We have the same
Yeah,
one.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, who's going to answer the question?
You got it.
We would say New Mexico State, because sweeping them for the first time in like a million years was something that like proved like we're good enough, because we went head to toe with them last year. And they were picked to finish second. So, I mean, it means the world to us that we did that. It means the world to, like, El Paso, especially because it's an I-10 rival. So,
yeah. It's a good answer. Wow. There it is. NMSU, Eddie, a school that's near and dear to your heart.
Yes, and that's okay, because the Miners are also now near and dear to my heart, as this city of El Paso has really grown on me, Steve.
Well, good. I'm happy. How many years have you been living here now?
Well, I've never lived here in El Paso, but I'm here every day for the last 10 years.
Maybe it's time to relocate, Eddie. That might not be a bad idea.
We'll talk about that in the future. Good luck to the Miners. It's going to be a fun time at Conference USA Volleyball Tournament. If you haven't got your tickets, get them now. We'll see you guys there.
There you go. Check it out. Club Memorial on crack. Good job. I appreciate you, Eddie. Thanks for getting
Put it on
in.
a shirt.
Here's some more comments. First off, Chuco Wayne is excited with the Go UTEP Volleyball. He sent that out, so thank you, Chuco. This comes from El Paso Visuals. All of El Paso needs to show up this weekend at Memorial Gym. We have to support UTEP Volleyball and show CUSA and future bosses, the Mountain West, that El Paso shows up. And that is why they and even the NCAA should consider holding tournaments here in El Paso. There you go, coming from El Paso Visuals.
He said it great. I love it.
All right. Before I wrap things up, I want to make one note. Again, all session tickets are only $50. That gives you 7 matches for $50. If you want to get individual match tickets, those are available as well. Get them while you can. Just go to utepminers.com and click tickets. It'll take you right to the link, and you'll be all set and good to go. Very important to note, though, students get in for free to
big
all
deal.
of this.
Yeah.
That is a big deal, Coach.
Yeah,
very big deal.
Especially right now when there's not a ton going on. I know that there's a women's basketball game, I think, on Saturday, maybe a little bit before or after when we're playing. But there's not a lot going on, and so to have a free championship-style setting to see really good volleyball and this kind of moment here on UTEP's campus for free, I mean, get out and come. You can grab your tickets normally on your Ticketmaster link through your student portal, but also, man, just get out here and cheer these guys on. They deserve it, and they're really proving their worth and doing a lot of things for the city and also for the university.
Yes, that is true. By the way, Pinky has this question. He wants to know, do they have any plans to upgrade the seats in the upper section for season ticket holders? If I remember correctly, they are the same seats from the 60s. Now, listen, here's my thoughts on that. The wooden seats. I love the wooden seats. You can't find those anywhere. They're polished. They look amazing. I feel like I'm in a time machine and I'm back to the 60s like that. It is the way to go. I don't ever want to see those seats go. And if they ever take those seats out, I will be buying them and putting them in my house.
That's right, and you're like one of 4 people in the world that love those seats. And most of our other season ticket holders really want to sit in a little bit more of a comfortable chair back seat. And so that is something Danny Garcia has been working his tail off for the last couple of months of upgrading Memorial. And I'm telling you, we have a surprise for everybody when they show up this weekend. I mean,
any hints?
All I can tell you is you're going to be impressed. You're going to be impressed. It's going to be exciting. And the next step from Danny's mouth is that we're going to address the seating and the lighting. So the seating's coming, the lighting's coming. I mean, this team has done everything in their power to prove their worth. And so now, everyone is just behind them, trying to make sure that they give them everything they can to feel the kind of love that the city is showing us, that the university is showing us, that the administration is showing us, that our student body is showing us. So we're going to go out there and we're going to earn every bit of that this weekend and prove that for our fans.
Last question from Ivan, then we'll wrap it up. He said, I would love to have been at the net at the first volleyball match, so Weaver and the opposing players. It was great to see, but I wanted to know what was being said.
Oh, you got to come to find out.
Also, does Coach Wallace have enough hoodies to make it through Sunday?
Barely. I barely do. Now, we got plenty. We got our fits already set up. Okay. We're already set up there. Courtney was asking me about them today. But what I will tell you is Kaya's not the spiciest of the 2 people in this room when it comes to talking noise.
Kalia talks
Kohler,
as much trash?
Oh, more.
Really?
She is a professional mess talker out on the floor. It is. If you're really paying attention to what's going on, Kalia is our dog, man. She's our pit bull. If there was a street fight, everyone would stand behind Kalia. She has knives in her socks that she pulls out when she needs them.
Kalia, I like this. I did not expect that from you. You seem so unassuming and so sweet.
Don't let her trick you, Steve.
I like the fact that when the match starts, you change personalities and you become the kind of gamer that everybody wants to see. That's good.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, if the team on the other side of the net attacks first, it just doesn't sit well with me, and I do have something to say about it back. So as long as they don't engage with us, it's fine. But it's nice being so short because I can say something and then go hide in the huddle afterwards.
and let Kaya handle everything.
Yeah. I say something and then I hide behind Kaya.
She really does. She'll hype her up a little bit. She'll tell Kaya, go take care of this chick for me, man. Yeah,
it's like a deadly duo.
It is.
I like that. And you know what? There's another good idea for next year. You could have a shirt with the 2 of them and say the deadly duo.
Well, I want you to know that Jeff Darby has promoted it or is about to promote a shirt with all of our players on it with caricatures for the Conference USA tournament. So you'll see little Kaya and little Kaya Weaver on there, and it's pretty cool. And maybe next year we'll put Deadly Duo on the back of it. But be on the lookout for that stuff. It's going to be really cool, man. The event is going to be special.
Yep.
Once again, shout out to Mandy Polito. She's been working so hard. Taylor Vena, who's on maternity leave with her little baby girl. We wish she could be in the crowd cheering us on, but a lot of people have worked hard to put this event on, including all of our media people this week, really just making sure that they do a good job to promote it. So come out and cheer them on. It will not disappoint, guys. We will show you that this team is ready to and hungry to win.
Coach, ladies, great having you here. Thanks so much. We'll see you this weekend for sure.
Thank you.
Love it. Appreciate you, Steve. Thanks, man.
You got it. It's UTEP Volleyball. We'll come back, wrap up Hour 1 right after this. As we wind up Hour number 1, congratulations, Pat Murphy. Murph beat out Mike Schilt from San Diego and Carlos Mendoza from the Mets to win Manager of the Year. How about that? A former Chihuahuas manager wins the NL Manager of the Year award.
And the fact that it's Pat Murphy, I mean, if you know, you know, right? Like, if you were around Pat Murphy, he was the nicest manager to me when I was a college journalist, and I would go, series by series to El Paso Chihuahuas games, was always accessible, but always had a laugh and always would make light of situations. So, love Pat Murphy. Really happy that he was named Manager of the Year out of the NL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's a great way for us to end Hour 1 here on the program. When we come back, we haven't even talked Cowboys. Oh, God, thank God we've got the Sun Bowl watch coming up next with Bernie Olivas, so we can kind of just briefly talk about what the hell happened last night against the Texans. We'll do that. We'll get you ready for UTEP football with Scotty Walden. Dead Beach, our home, an hour from now with John Teicher, who will join us a little bit later, right here, 600 ESPN El Paso. Steve Kaplowitz back with you. Tomorrow, we are going to be live, 1887 North Zaragoza, for 3 hours, 4 to 7, with Raising Cane's 10-year celebration in El Paso. In fact, it's going to be amazing because they're going to be giving away 10 free Canes for a year as a thank you to the Sun City for 10 amazing years. That's right. You can be there as they draw the winners right after registration closes. You must be present to win. So don't miss your chance to celebrate the Raising Cane's 10-year anniversary. Score free Canes for a year and join us, Adrian. That's the best part. I love it. I was out east yesterday at the Ale House. I'll be back at Speaking Rock Thursday. And the fact that we're going to be back to Canes for our first show in about 6 weeks or so, and we were there on the west side. Love the fact we're going to be on the North Zaragoza store for their 10-year.
Yeah, 10 amazing years. They're giving away 10 free Canes for a year cards, just like you said, Steve. Registration for people who are listening to this and they want Canes for a year, just like me, you got to be there from 5 to 7 p.m. All you have to do is stop by 1887 North Zaragoza. You don't have to purchase anything. All you have to do is register during that period, hang around after, and earn a chance to win Canes for a year.
There you go. By the way, Brian from downtown is trying to call in because he's upset that Dave Roberts did not win Manager of the Year award. Now, listen, no offense, Brian. I know you're a very big Dodger fan, but in all respect, the Dodgers lineup, and Bernie Olivas can attest to this from the Sun Bowl Association, the executive director and our partner for the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl Watch. The Dodger roster compared to the Brewers roster is apples and oranges. We cannot give any kind of legit response, even with all the injuries the Dodgers had. They still had Freddie Freeman. They still had Mookie Betts. They still had Shohei Ohtani. They were loaded offensively. Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, the list goes on and on and on. And even in that rotation, as banged up as they were, they still had enough arms to go around to win ball games with that offense. My question to Brian from downtown is this. Name me three players on the Milwaukee Brewers, and you probably can't. And that's why, to me, Pat Murphy deserves Manager of the Year. Bernie, what do you think?
I agree 100%. And I like Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts was on the sidelines 2 years ago when UCLA played Pittsburgh here.
That's right.
Got to meet him, got to talk to him. I became a huge fan of his. Even though, I'm a Yankee fan, I thought he was a tremendous individual. But I agree with you. His team was loaded. And that's one of the reasons that I wasn't that disappointed the Yankees lost the World Series, because going into the World Series, I thought the Dodgers had a better team. And they did, and they proved it. But as far as Manager of the Year, I agree with you. Pat Murphy did a much better job with what he had than what Dave Roberts did with what he had.
And by the way, Stephen Vogt was named the Manager of the Year for the AL with the Guardians, had a great season in Cleveland. First-year manager, did a lot of good.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a lot to cover on the game. We got a special guest picker. But first, the Cowboys. Last night, losing at home again to the Houston Texans. Another embarrassing performance.
They're 0 at home this year. Right?
They are 0 at home. That's
After
correct.
going like 15 in a row at home or something like that.
Yeah, they have been beyond bad, and I don't see it getting any better. Do you?
Not right now. No, not right now. And you go with their quarterback. Their multi-million-dollar quarterback is out for the season. I know Rush did a good job last year or the year before coming in and winning a few games as a starter, but he's not the only reason that they're not winning. They can't run the ball, they can't stop the ball, they can't do anything right now. They just don't look good.
They look horrible.
Yeah.
I'm with you. They look really bad, which is a perfect segue to the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl watch.
Absolutely.
Because
week 13.
Week 13, and we still have no idea who's coming to play in this game in El Paso, do we?
Absolutely not.
I love it. Every week is the same story. It gets better.
I think from the Pac-12, I think we've narrowed it down now to 4 teams. From the ACC, there's still 6 or 7 teams that are very possible. I mean, very, very possible. Not long shots, but very possible when you look at the record. But, like I said, it's easier to tell you who's not going to come in here. Like from the Pac-12, we know Oregon, Colorado, Arizona State, and Washington State are probably going to be going before they get to the Sun Bowl. However, Washington, USC, UCLA and Cal are all very possibles. Washington, they played in the national championship last year, and they're 8-2. I mean, they're 6-5. Not as good as they were last year, but they're a pretty good football team.
Yes, they are.
USC, they have to beat UCLA to even become bowl eligible, and they play UCLA at the Rose Bowl this weekend. And, of course, UCLA, if they beat USC, they have to beat Fresno State to become bowl eligible. And if they do beat USC will not become bowl eligible because they'll have to play Notre Dame to finish out the season, and that's going to be a tough one for them.
Very tough game.
All right. So and then you got Cal. Cal. They're now at the ACC. They're at the ACC, but now they have to play for the Pac-12. They're 5-5, and they get Stanford. And you never know that those rivalry games. You just don't know what's going to happen there. But
especially with what Stanford did last week, beating Louisville.
There you
that
go.
was a shocker. Nobody could get it. And by the way, props to Tim Haggerty. The only person that picked a crazy upset last week, he picked New Mexico to beat Wazoo.
How about that?
And look at what Haggerty did yesterday.
He knew something.
He
How
did
about
know
that?
something.
He got some inside info out there. But yeah, congratulations to him as well. On the other side, again, you can probably rule out SMU. They're 9-1. You could probably rule out Clemson. They're 8-2. You can rule out Miami at 9-1.
Yep.
After that, it could be anybody who's after that. Syracuse, 7-3. I just saw them play. I just saw them beat Cal this last Saturday. Georgia Tech, they're already, Louisville, they're 6-4. Georgia Tech, 6-4. Duke is 7-3. Pittsburgh is 7-3 after a 7-0 start.
That's right.
They've lost 3 in a row, and they got a tough one this week as well. North Carolina, they're 6-4 already. They've already qualified.
What about North Carolina, by the way? Do you still think you're going to have a shot at Mac Brown now that they've qualified?
I think we do. In our pool, I know they cannot go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl because they played there last year. With Syracuse at 7-3, New York, the Pinstripe Bowl, I think Syracuse. I
Makes
think
sense.
they might want to take Syracuse because it's so close.
When was the last time Syracuse played in the Pinstripe Bowl?
I can't remember that. I don't remember that, but I think they have. I think they have been there. But they'll fill up Yankee Stadium, which is what the Pinstripe Bowl is looking for.
They will. That is true.
They'll fill it up, and then Duke hasn't been in a while. They're 7-3. They're a good football team.
Now Syracuse played last in the Pinstripe Bowl in 2022. They played Minnesota, so it's only this would be. Last year was Miami and Rutgers. Do you think they would still possibly want to go back to Syracuse, even though they were there 2 years ago?
I think so. I think so because for that simple reason that they'll fill up Yankee Stadium.
Yes, they will.
They will fill it up. And then you got Dick Pittsburgh, who was here. Obviously, they were here 2 years ago. North Carolina, and then Virginia. Virginia Tech are 5-5. They need one win. Boston College is 5-5. NC State is 5-5. And Cal is 5-5. Of course, Cal would have to play from the Pac-12 side. So, again, when I say there's a multitude of teams that could still be here, I'm not lying. There are a lot of teams that could still come to the Sun Bowl.
And Wake Forest is 4-6, and they can win out and go play and be 6-6 and go bowling. Crazy enough, the only teams that right now we know are not going from the ACC is Stanford and Florida State. Everybody else is all in play. The whole league is in play.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Mathematically, they're all in play, and the things that the teams are playing are beatable. Everybody's beatable over there this year, and that's why the records are the way they are at 6-4, 5-5, 5-5, 4-6. Nobody's dominating except for SMU, Clemson, and Miami.
By the way, I just looked. Wake's got to play at Miami and at home against Duke. They're toast.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Wake will not make a bowl game this year.
Exactly. And that's one of the ACC teams that it's not playing the Sun Bowl, along with Boston College.
Yeah, that's very true. All right. We got a lot going on here, man. It's going to be crazy. Wayne Thornton is in the house. Wayne Thornton, who is going to be the Grand Marshal for this year's Glasheen Via-Zinderman Sun Bowl Thanksgiving Parade. Wayne, you've been involved in that parade forever. What is it like now knowing that you are going to join the list of who's as Grand Marshal of the parade?
It'll be nice as rice, smell as jello, brother. It's really a very special honor. Thanks to Mr. Olivas, the board of directors, and all the many people involved to make that happen. And It's a special occasion. It really is. It doesn't get any better.
You know what I call this? And again, in all respect, I call this. This is a lifetime achievement award, is what I think. I really believe that. Bernie,
No doubt about it.
the man has spent his entire adult life working in conjunction with the Sun Bowl Association in El Paso, and everything he's had a chance to do. It is only fitting that you guys are able to do this, and I'm so happy and proud of you for recognizing Wayne this year.
And not only what he has done for the Sun Bowl, but what he has done for this community.
Yes.
That's the biggest reason we got him, because we have a lot of people who do great things for the Sun Bowl, but for what Dwayne has done for the Sun Bowl and for the community here in El Paso is unbelievable, and it's a long time coming. When I brought that name up, when we brought that name up, there was no second guessing. I said, why have we done this before? And we are so proud and happy to have one of our own.
That's right.
Who is really one of the city's own, be our Grand Marshal this year.
By the way, do you have a key to the city?
No, sir.
Need to get you one of those. Do you have a street sign named after you?
No, sir.
Need one of those. Do you have a city park named after you?
No.
Need that too. We have. Do you have a school named after you?
No, sir.
All right. This is the start. This is the start.
No. He's not telling you the whole truth. We just dedicated a community center over there at Grandview Park. It is now the Wayne Thornton Community Center. Is it a community
Yes, sir.
center?
Yes, sir.
The Wayne Thornton Community Center. That's a nice big park.
I'm
at
sorry
Grandview
I didn't
Park.
mention the word community center named after you. Then you would have said. Yes.
That's the way Thornton not going to toot his own home. But that was a tremendous by the unveiling of that center last year when we went over there. And I could say congratulations to him, and I'm glad that the city recognized him as well for all the things that he has done for this community.
Wayne and I go back a long, long time to when I started here 30 years ago. He had a very, very close relationship with my father. So as you might imagine, when it comes to Wayne Thornton, it's personal. And that's why I'm very, very happy that he's going to be out there for the parade.
Couldn't have asked for somebody better.
Yep.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Yeah.
Mr. Olivas. He's so polite.
He's always
isn't that, isn't that the
isn't that
greatest?
something? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Adrian.
Man, Wayne, you're the best.
You're welcome, brother.
That's awesome. All right. We're going to pick games in a second. But before we do, we got to give away tickets. And by the way, this is one of the last opportunities you're going to have to win tickets to go see the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. And for those of you that have won tickets and not picked them up, what are you waiting for? Like, you're running out of time. I can't stress this enough. By the time you show up at the station to get your envelope, they're going to be gone. So please, if you've won tickets on this contest over the last 3 months, please come by the station and pick them up and do that. Just like last week where one of our lucky winners on trivia showed up, took a picture with you, did a photo op, and then was put up on the Sun Bowl social media handle. I love that. So that was great. Bernie, let's give somebody a chance to win these tickets.
I would love to give away some tickets, and going to throw a little curveball in here today because in honor of our guest celebrity picker. I've been throwing a lot of softballs up at you guys. The first callers are getting these answers correct. All right, so I'm going to mix a couple of sports here. We've thrown softballs, we do football, but this time we're going to go a little bit outside the box.
Good, it's about time.
Because Wayne is our celebrity picker and is because our Grand Marshal, for 2 tickets to the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, he's played on December 31st. Can you name 4 of the last Grand Marshals we've had in the last 4 years?
Name them all. The last 4 Grand Marshals.
Or 4 of the last Grand in the last 4 years. And that's a little trick question as well.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you why. Because
we didn't have a parade in 2020.
No. Yes, we did. A couple years, there was 2 Grand Marshals in the parade. So,
oh, really?
So there's more than 4 in the last 4 years.
We had a Thanksgiving parade during COVID?
We were the first ever to have a virtual parade.
Ah, the virtual parade.
But
That's
we did
right.
have a Thanksgiving Day parade, probably the first ever virtual parade in the world.
Hopefully the last.
And hopefully it's the last.
That's right.
But you know what? KTSM did a fantastic job, and for those of you who want to know how we did it, we still had floats built, we still had bands playing, we still had equestrian groups, performing, but we and KTSM went to their individual places and videoed them, And then at the float warehouse, we had the floats come out and go one block, but we still had the talent describing everything. And they did a fantastic job of putting all those videos together and make it look like a parade was going down Montana Street.
Love it.
And broadcast it 10 to 12 like we normally do. And they did a tremendous job. Again, hope we don't ever have to do it again, but it was a fantastic job in 2020 during COVID.
So now we need to know the last 4 Grand Marshals, or the Grand Marshals of the last 4 parades.
Grand Marshals, the last 4 parades.
505.
For 2 tickets.
Yep, 6009. When we come back, Wayne Thornton's going to pick games with us. Looking forward to that right after Charlie One, who has this traffic update.
In the El Paso Metroplex now, first the crashes we have going on. Let's go to Northeast first. US 54 south at State Line, working a collision there. It's on the left shoulder now, but some looky-loos and shoulder activity there. US 54 south at State Line. Let's add to that. In Northeast Marcus, Uribe and Martin Luther King, we have a crash. On the west side, Upper Valley and Artcraft, we have a crash. Now, where are we tapping the brakes? Tapping the brakes, I-10 West through those. We have pockets right there. I-10 West, Schuster, Executive, Southern Park. You have those pockets there slowing traffic. Also, now, really stacked up here. I-10 East Cotton through Spaghetti Bowl. There's a thick traffic right there, really struggling. Loop 375 south, going to that Juarez Port. That's going to slow you down right there. Leo's Restaurant, 7520 Rimcon. 78 years in business, original family since 1946, famous tortilla soup. Popular Mr. T specials, Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 8. That's tonight. Go Miners, Leo's Restaurant, 7520 Rimcon, Charlie 1600, ESPN El Paso.
All right, back here on Sports Talk, 23 past the hour. Wayne Thornton, our celebrity guest picker. Do we have a winner on trivia yet, Adrian?
We do not, Steve. We had one person who guessed 3 out of the 4 answers correctly, but they picked somebody from 2018. And we said, hey, it's the last 4 Grand Marshals, not 2018.
That's right.
By the way, you've got Sebastian with you, so if we have guesses, maybe you can have Sebastian help you out on the phone so that way you can pick games, which would be nice because Adrian is one of our guest pickers for the weekly Chick-fil-A Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl Selectum contest, which is going on right now. And by the way, Adrian is handling a phone call, which means we got a winner. Just like that, Bernie, we got a winner right now. Adrian is handling the winner on the phones. How about that?
That is pretty awesome. I can't fool these guys. Everybody is good.
Even the curveballs they get right.
Even the curveballs, they get them real quick.
Who are we looking for those Grand Marshals? Who do you want? Who do we want people to answer?
We have a winner.
Yeah, we have a winner.
All right. The question was, can you name 4 of the last 5? I mean, the Grand Marshals of the last 4 years. And actually, we've had 6 Grand Marshals in the last 4 years. Last year was Tuff Hedeman, champion rodeo man. Year before that was Jimmy Rogers and John Fulmer.
Love it.
Lifetime Sun Bowl guys. In 21, we had Fabiola Salayandio, who was an AGTV Ogar star and reality design show winner. And in 2020, when we had a virtual parade, we had Aaron and Alvin Jones, our Grand Marshals. So there were actually 6 in the last 4 years. Congratulations. Wow. Who was our winner?
Lance Moya.
Lance.
Way to go, Lance.
Way to go.
Congratulations, pal. Lance has scored the ultimate prize, which is a pair of tickets to the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. And by the way, Lance, please come by the radio station to pick him up. Don't wait, Lance. Get him before it's too late. All right. Are we ready to pick games, gentlemen? How did we do last week, Adrian?
Steve, I did terribly. I had 5 out of 10 correctly. The good thing is same with Bernie. He only had 5 correct last week.
I had 5, and I thought I had a great week compared to what I had been doing.
Oh, my God. All right, so where do we stand after 12 weeks?
Okay, wait. You had 6 correct this week, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, so you are in the lead comfortably, 82 points. I have 69 and Bernie with 68.
Ooh, wow. Close, and close. All right. Are we ready for the final week of picking games?
I'm nervous.
We are ready.
Here we go. Game number 1. And the way this works, Wayne, is I'll give the matchups. I will then also give the records, the point spread for entertainment purposes only, and we just need you to pick a winner. So let's get started with our first game, which will be North Carolina State and Georgia Tech. Kicking us off, this will be a Thursday night game, 5:30 on ESPN. North Carolina State's 5-5, 2-4 in the ACC. Georgia Tech is 6-4, 4-3 in the ACC. It's at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, and Wayne, Georgia Tech, 9-point favorites.
Wow. Well, Kevin Lovell used to be the general manager at Channel 7. He lives in Atlanta now, where Georgia Tech is, so I'll take Georgia Tech.
Good reason why. I'm happy we're going with really a smart analysis today. Kevin Lovell.
His daughter goes there after.
Shout out.
If you're listening, Kevin, that one's for you. All right. Bernie, your turn.
I'm going with Georgia Tech, but not because Kevin Lovell lives in Georgia.
Adrian.
I'm going Georgia Tech as well, guys.
All right, we're unanimous. All going Georgia Tech to kick things off here on the show. 10 a.m. Saturday. That's going to be 6-4 North Carolina visiting 5-5 Boston College. The game is going to be at Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts at Alumni Stadium. UNC, 3-point road favorites, Bernie.
I am going to go with the Tar Heels and Mac Brown, even though it's up in Boston. I'm going with the Tar Heels.
All right, Tar Heels for Bernie. What about you, Adrian?
North Carolina's turned the corner a bit on the season. I've really liked what we've seen from them over the past couple weeks. I know all the rumors swirling around are talking about Mac Brown possibly retiring at the end of the season. After winning 3 in a row right here and maybe go into 4 in a row after this one against Boston College. I wonder if they'd reconsider. Regardless, I got the Tar Heels on the road.
All right, I'll take BC to win. BC wins. They're bowl eligible. I don't think they want to have to play Pittsburgh the last week and have their bowl eligibility on the line. So I think Boston College gets it out of the way this week and knocks off North Carolina, who's already qualified. What about you, Wayne?
I pick the coach, the nicest man in football, Mac Brown, and, of course, my favorite basketball team as well in college, North Carolina.
Okay. I'm on an island. Looking forward to being there, too. Next up, it's going to be number 14, BYU, visiting number 21, Arizona State, at Mountain America Stadium in Tempe. BYU.
Did you say number 14?
14, that's correct. I'm looking at this right off of ESPN.com. So
lost last week.
That's right. BYU is 9-1, 6-1 in the Big 12. Arizona State is 8-2, 5-2 in the Big 12. ASU 3-point favorites, Adrian, in this one.
Yeah, I love Arizona State in this matchup right here. What an upset against Kansas State last week for the Sun Devils. That one caught us all by surprise. And you look at what Arizona State has on the line. They have a Big 12 title hope on the line. They want to make it to the Big 12 title game, and I think they do so after winning this one against BYU.
All right, so you'll go with Arizona State at home. I like it. I went with BYU, and you want to know something? I feel like Arizona State can easily win this game and probably will, but I don't know. Something tells me BYU has a bad taste in their mouth after what happened last week, and they want a little revenge. Wayne, what about you?
The place where I would like to live if it wasn't El Paso would be Phoenix, Arizona, and, of course, that's where John Fulmer went to college and was Arizona State.
All right. I was going to say, if you told me the place you wanted to live was Provo, Utah, I'd be like, wow, I learned something new from Wayne tonight. That would be great. All right. So it's Arizona State across the board except for me. Now it's your turn, Bernie.
Bounce back. I'm seeing a bounce back here. I'm taking BYU.
Smart man, Bernie. All right. Next up, number 16, Colorado, visiting Kansas. Colorado, 8-2 on the season, 6-1 in the Big 12. Kansas, 4-6, 3-4 in the Big 12 for that one. As far as the point spread, it is Colorado minus 2.5. Look, I'm riding Colorado. I saw what they did last week. I know Kansas had the upset special, and 2 wins gets them into the bowls. I just don't see it. I'm rolling with Colorado here, Wayne.
You know, I think Kansas is the most dangerous football team in college, is next to Vanderbilt. But I'm going to loan Dion my whistle for the game.
Good.
The freight train keeps going for Colorado.
He needs it, that's for sure. Bernie, your turn.
You know, all year long I've been kind of wanting Colorado to lose because I think we needed to lose them a couple of times so we could get them here in El Paso. But I've changed my tune. They're a pretty good football team, and I think they have a chance to play for the Big 12 championship. I am going with the Buffs.
All right. Adrian, you've been riding them all year. Is anything going to change this week?
Nothing's going to change this week. Shador for number 1 overall pick in the draft. Travis Hunter for the Heisman Trophy.
Next up, Cal and Stanford. Cal's 5-5. Stanford's 3-7. The game is in Berkeley, and I'll go back to you, Wayne. Cal, 14.5-point favorites.
You know, I got to pick Stanford. Condoleezza Rice, when she was on the sidelines for the Sun Bowl football game, I've never seen the madness of all the people wanting to take a picture with that young lady and be a part of what she was doing on the sidelines. Got to go with Stanford.
Did you get a chance to get her number when you were around Condoleezza?
No, because Bernie was right next to her, and nobody could get next to her. He was his own personal bodyguard for that lady.
I understand. All right,
that, buddy?
She was one of the nicest people I've ever met, and could say one of the biggest football fans I've ever met as well.
Will you pick them because of her, like
No.
Wayne just did?
No. No. I know this is one of those rivalry games, and you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
I don't think Stanford can go to Cal and make up a 14-point. You know, the 14-point underdog. I am going with Cal.
All right, Adrian.
The easiest road trip for Stanford in the ACC, no doubt about it. Here for Cal, but for Cal, they've got something to play for, and that's bowl eligibility. They're 5-5, so give me the Bears in this one.
That makes 3 of us. I'll go Cal also, winning this one over Wayne and the Stanford Cardinal. All right, next up, we'll stay in the ACC. for 7-3 Pitt, visiting 6-4 Louisville. It's going to be at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Again, good matchup. The Cardinals, 8-point favorites here, Bernie.
You know, Pittsburgh is one of my favorite teams. Coach Narduzzi is one of my favorite coaches. Pittsburgh is one of my favorite cities. But they're not going to beat Louisville this weekend.
All right.
I'm going with the Cardinals.
Fair enough. Adrian.
You know, Pitt's lost 3 straight, and then you watch that Clemson game. There's an argument they shouldn't have lost that game at all. I mean, Klubnik with that 50-yard touchdown to really ice the game for the Tigers in that one. Give me Pitt. I feel like their luck's got to turn here. They've lost 3 straight. They win one here and get off this losing streak.
I like it. Not enough to pick them, but I like where you're going. I'll take Louisville like Bernie. I feel like they'll get it done. What about you, Wayne?
The UTEP men's basketball team plays Louisville next month, right?
They do.
And Louisville.
That's right.
I'm going to go see that game.
Are you really?
Yes, sir.
That sounds like
I've
fun.
always wanted to see a big-time arena, see big-time basketball like that.
You already have your flight purchased?
Everything's set.
Very nice.
Stay downtown, right a mile from the stadium.
Oh, my God, I'm jealous.
So it'll be awesome.
All right.
But I don't like Louisville. I like Pittsburgh.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. Pittsburgh for Wayne.
No, wait a minute. I take Louisville.
What the hell?
I take Louisville. No. I take Louisville.
You took Louisville.
I remember Pittsburgh has been a hard luck team this year. They had some tough losses. Last week was a tough one. I'll take Louisville to win.
All right, I'm so confused, but I think we're up to speed. Do we got everybody for that game there, Bernie?
Got everybody.
Beautiful. Let's go to the next one. It's Washington State visiting Oregon State. Wazoo's 8-2. This is their first Pac-12 game because there's only one other team in the Pac-12. Oregon State 4-6. Beavers need a win too. Starting with this one against Washington State, who's a 12.5-point favorite. So. Let's talk to you, Adrian. Who do you like, Washington State or Oregon State?
You know, this is the true conference game, right? The 2 teams out of the Pac-2. I love it right here. Give me Washington State on the road. Last week, Oregon State got shut out 28-0 to Air Force.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll take Washington State also over Oregon State. Your turn, Wayne.
Jay Pritchard in the Sun Bowl office, he graduated from Washington State.
He did.
It's going to be a massacre.
All right.
State.
Washington State from Wayne. Now your turn, Bernie.
Clean sweep. The Cougs will take care of the Ducks.
Next up.
The Beavers.
Yep. It's going to be a good one. Undefeated Army taking on 9-1 Notre Dame. Wow. Number 19 against number 6. Game's going to be at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Notre Dame, a 14.5-point favorite. Look, I like what Army's done this year. I liked what Navy had done up until their game against Notre Dame. And the Irish took care of Navy and knocked them from the unbeaten ranks, and they're going to do it again this weekend at Yankee Stadium and take care of business against Army and give them their first loss of the season, Wayne.
You know, I love Army. My dad served 35 years in the U.S. Army.
Thank you for his service.
Thank you. But you know what? I love Notre Dame a little bit more. Notre Dame.
All right. Bernie.
I'm not going to say this is a lock of the week, but I think Notre Dame will be up for this game because they're playing against an undefeated team at home. I'm taking the Irish.
Adrian, are you going to be different?
No, I'm not going to be different here. I was different for that Navy game thinking, is Notre Dame for real? Are they really for real? You look at Army strength of schedule. You look at the teams they've played. I think it's Notre Dame all the way.
All right. 2 to go, and then we wrap it up. We'll start first with this one from the ACC. It's 5-5 Virginia Tech visiting 7-3 Duke. It's going to be a fun one out there in Durham at Wallace Wade Stadium. Virginia Tech, 3-point road favorites over the Dukesters, Wayne.
I don't like Duke in football, basketball, baseball, whatever. I just don't like Duke. Virginia Tech has the best entrance of any team, but they're on the road, but I take Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech it is. Bernie.
Virginia Tech has a lot to play for. They got a bowl berth, waiting for them. They got 5 wins. They need another one. Duke is 7-3. They're on the roll. I think they want to go in that direction. I am taking Duke.
Duke for Bernie. Your turn, Adrian.
Duke as well from me. I'm picking them at home.
All right. I'm going Virginia Tech, boys. I'm with Wayne on this one. It's not because I dislike Duke. I didn't make it personal like Mr. Thornton did. But even though, Duke might be nice as rice and mellow as Jell-O, I'll take Virginia Tech. playing for something, that's to be bowl eligible and think they're going to get it done. Plus, they've been very, very competitive against many of the teams they've been going up against all season long. Wraps us up with one game. It's going to be the Battle of California, USC and UCLA. All right, as far as this game goes, USC, they are the road team going to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to take on UCLA, who's 4-6, 3-5 in the Big Ten. USC is 5-5, 3-5 in the Big Ten. USC, Bernie, 4.5-point road faves.
This game could have a lot of implications as to who comes to the Sun Bowl, Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl this year.
In the mic, please. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
And like I said, a lot of implications. Like I said, the winner of that game could possibly be coming to Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, along with Washington is still out there. But I've seen USC has lost. Every game they've lost has been a one possession game, and there's 3 that I think that they just kind of gave away. They're a pretty good football team. I saw them play against Rutgers, and they kind of ran over Rutgers. UCLA started slow, but they are on a roll right now. They're playing well. I think this will be a close game, but I'm going to go with the Trojans. I'm taking USC.
All right, Trojan pride for Bernie. What about you, Adrian?
Steve, this is one of the toughest ones of the week, but I'll pinpoint this. 4 of 5 USC losses have come from long travel. Michigan, Minnesota, Maryland, Washington. They're traveling far distances there. They're just traveling down the street, although it's going to take them about 4 hours to get there. Give me USC.
All right, I'm with you. I'm taking the Trojans as well, which means if anybody's going to take UCLA, it's going to be Wayne. Yes or no?
Ed Stansbury is a good friend, went to UCLA. Tony White, Burgess graduate, went to UCLA.
Yes, I feel like I know where this is going.
When I was president, UCLA was the team I had. But Juju Watkins is the best player in basketball. She goes to USC.
Oh, my God, you're throwing it back.
All the way with USC, buddy.
Look at that. I was ready to jump on the Wayne Thornton UCLA bandwagon, but he threw a little juju at us, and next thing you know, he goes back to USC. All right. Meanwhile, tiebreaker, total number of points scored during that game. The total right now is 51.5, in case you need that for reference. What total points? Give it to us here, Wayne.
64.
64 for Wayne. Bernie, your turn.
I went 62.
62. All right. Adrian.
55.
And I went 54. So there we go. All right. Wayne, I wish you nothing but the best, my friend.
Thank you, Steve.
Great to have you on the show. Congratulations again. The parade, believe it or not, is a week from Thursday. That's how close we are to seeing Wayne on the float.
We are there. It's going to be a fantastic parade. The floats are being built. They look awesome. The bandstick, everything you want in a parade is going to be there. But always look at the weather. The weather's supposed to be really nice then. Come on out and catch it. Get there early or get there late. You got a 3-mile route from on Montana from Ochoa to Copia. Come on out and enjoy the parade. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wayne, you always like to film things. Are you going to film the crowds waving to you in the float, or are you just going to soak it up and enjoy?
Most definitely.
Oh, you are filming people.
I'm making selfies all along the route, buddy.
Beautiful.
Shoot, yeah.
You're going to have the greatest video of all time.
Oh, most definitely.
Fantastic.
It's going to be awesome.
Can't wait. Bernie, always great to see you. We'll do it right back here again next week, 2 days before the big one.
I didn't even notice how many games Adrian and I were different, because that could decide who's going to win.
I like the fact that you weren't even paying attention. That's even better.
Yeah.
Adrian, how many games do you guys differ? Do you know?
I think it was like 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
Well, we both got a chance. We both got a chance.
Good luck, both of you. I'm
I can't
excited
lose,
about
guys.
that.
I can't lose.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm just all I know is I'm going to be enjoying it no matter who wins that contest. That's going to be good. All right. When we come back, John Tice, your final countdown. Stay with us. We're getting you ready for UTEP football with Scotty Walden right here, 600 ESPN El Paso.